Hey guys, welcome to LifeBuilds. My name is Michael, and today we're going to be doing a full service on this 2008 BMW X5 that we got for almost half price because it just needed a tire that we already replaced. In this episode, we're also going to be covering the cost breakdown, how much we paid for this car, and what we're doing to this vehicle to make it 100% right. If you're new to this series, you might be wondering what we're doing with this BMW. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I picked this BMW X5 up with the sole purpose of testing it out for a couple weeks and then selling it in order to see if I wanted to sell my BMW 750 Li enough to change for this BMW in a few months. Well, after owning it for about a week, my mom decided she really enjoyed the car. She thought it was really beautiful. I took it down to her. She drove it for a weekend, decided she loved it. She ended up buying it. So that brings me to today's episode. I'm going to be doing a full service. We have cabin air filters, oil filters, air filters, serpentine belt, oil level sensors. We're doing an oil change. We're doing everything I can to make this car 100% so that my mom can end up having a very reliable, nice car to drive. Now you may also notice behind me a new BMW to the channel. That is my newest purchase. It's a 2009 BMW 328i. You can see my 7 Series is out here. I recently picked up that BMW non-running, and I'm pretty sure I know how to fix it. If you want to see a video on that, make sure to let me know and I'll make sure to cover it. But let's get started on this video and let's do a full service on this BMW X5. All right, so as we get started, I had to close the garage because it is some of the hottest days of the summer here right now at about 115 outside, so drenched in sweat. So I got some extra lights in here. I'm gonna try to get some good angles for you guys, but if it's a little darker than normal, that's why, because I can't keep the garage door open. But we're gonna get started, do all of the service, and I'll take you guys along. Alrighty guys, I am draining the oil out of the BMW X5 right now. I figured I'd come in here and I'd answer some of your questions that I got on my recent video with this BMW. So one of the main questions was, how much did I pay for the car? How much did I negotiate down from? And what were my reasons for that? So I paid $3,500 for this car, for this 2008 BMW X5 with the 4.8 liter V8. That is very cheap because the cheapest X5 currently is $5,500 and the prices go all the way up to $8,500, which means this car is significantly undervalued. Now, let's get to why I paid $3,500. The listing said $4,000 firm, which was already a good deal, but the listing said nothing wrong with the car except that it needs a tire, a rear tire. Well, when I got there, the check engine light was on, the tire pressure light was on, and the car was in just terrible condition. So I pulled my scanner out, the new topped-in RD Diag scanner, and I read every code on the car, and there was a bunch of codes, but I cleared them because, you know, BMW's battery issues throws a bunch of codes. So I cleared the codes and saw what came back. Well, what came back was actually very concerning. The codes that came back showed the knock sensor for cylinders 1 through 4. So half the engine said it was knocking. There was random cylinder misfires. There was a bunch for AC because the AC didn't work in the car. there was a bunch of little codes and I was not thrilled. So I took it on a test drive, everything seemed to work. I cleared all the codes, all those codes came back, besides some of the random like low voltage, high voltage codes related to a battery. So I told the guy, I'm not paying you $4,000 for this car. I'll pay you $3,500. I think that's fair, but it's not as it was described. He agreed $3,500 and we made a deal. Well, I started thinking about this car. I noticed that a lot of things weren't very well taken care of. The engine oil looked very, very cheap. The interior of the car was trashed. And I started thinking, well, maybe this knock sensor has to do with bad fuel. Maybe the guy was cheaping out and running 87 instead of premium like they're supposed to run in these BMWs. So I went to my local gas station, filled it up with a full tank of premium, cleared the codes, and I have now driven the car over 700 miles. No check engine lights or anything. Meaning that because the guy cheaped out on fuel, he was literally causing sensors to fail in this car and sensors to freak out thinking that it was going to be knocking. So always run premium in performance cars. So now for the TPMS light, I took it to the local Les Schwab after replacing all the tires, and I had them do a TPMS relearn procedure, which completely turned off the light, and now the car runs perfectly fine. Now, one of the next questions I was asked is, can you do a cost breakdown for how much everything costs for this build? And, obviously, what are your plans? Well, I want to say right here, my mom did decide to keep the BMW. So I'm doing a lot more extra to it than I normally would do because I know she's going to be keeping it for a couple years and I'm just making the car perfect. Okay. So we know we paid $3,500 for the car. It cost me $40 round trip to drive my 7 Series down there and back. And then obviously I filled up what was left of this tank, which was another $40. So we're $80 in gas. I bought some cleaners and some other stuff for the car just to clean it out. That was $21. I picked up those new wheels for $545 from a junkyard off of a 2013 X5. I paid a little bit more because the wheels looked really, really nice. And I knew I'd be able to sell the other wheels that I have. I have 3 good wheels, plus that other set that came with the car. So I have a total of like 7 or 8 BMW wheels. And I know that even if I sell them each for $100 or $50, I can pretty much make all that money back that I spent on wheels and have a free set of nice wheels. So then I took them to a tire shop and it cost $116 for mountain balance for all the tires and wheels. And it already come with a brand new set of tires because the guy thought that the wheel issue was actually just due to a flat tire. So he bought brand new tires. I was very excited about that. So I have brand new tires in this car, but I didn't have to pay for them. I put a new front emblem on the car, $10. The TPMS relearn procedure at Les Schwab was $24. Then I bought some engine additives. Now, if you remember in the first video, when I started up the car, it sounded like it started really hard. Well, it's because the guy was using cheap oil. So I went and bought some Lucas Oil, full synthetic, I don't remember what it's called, but it's the really good, engine additive. I added that in, immediately took away the hard start. I then put a Bluetooth streamer in this car for $20, just one of those things you plug in. And then about $25 in fuel cleaners and oil system cleaners because I wanted to clean out all the extra stuff that was wrong with this car because I knew that it would then get burned through the spark plugs, which I'm coming to next. So the total investment into this car with those new wheels is $4,355, which is incredibly cheap. That's $1,000 under the very, very cheapest X5 right now that has some issues. So I was pretty excited at this point. I took it down to my mom. She loved the car. We decided to keep it. So then I went and I bought about $250 to maybe $300 worth of parts to fix this car completely up and do future preventative maintenance. So I bought spark plugs, I bought air filters, cabin air filters. I did an oil change, as you see right now. I also noticed that the electronic dipstick for the oil was not working. The manual dipstick, you could obviously tell how much oil is in it, but the electronic one was not working. I bought that sensor. We're replacing that just now, as you'll see in a second. I also bought serpentine belts to just really add to the reliability of this car. So that will be another $250. Either way, we'll be under $5,000 for a fully sourced 2008 BMW X5 with no check engine lights, no transmission issues, no all-wheel drive issues, nothing. The car works great, has brand new tires, really nice wheels, and it's been super reliable to this point. So I hope this answers some of your questions. I just wanted to come in here, take a break from the heat, show you the cost breakdowns. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more videos like this. I got a bunch of cars. I got a bunch of other projects that sometimes I just don't show to you guys just because I'm not sure if it'd be interesting. Or, as you know with me, I love BMWs, so I can only show so many BMWs on the channel before it's like, okay, this guy's really boring. So let me know what you guys want to see. If you want to see me fixing cars, if you want to see me doing maintenance, if you want to see me buying like broken cars and getting them running again, or motorcycles, or maybe some jet skis, let me know in the comments below. But let's get back to that oil change and finish up the rest of the car.
Hey guys, Zoe here. I'm just finishing editing the video and it looks like some of the clips got lost. So I thought I would let you know that Michael also changed the air filters on that BMW. And if you like this video of cost breakdown and basic maintenance on this BMW X5, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another LifeBuilds video.